Southeast Melbourne Phoenix and the Kings. And there's an opportunity tonight for Sydney to sweep the Phoenix in NBL25. They snatched victory from the jaws of defeat back in round 15.
Just quality look after quality look for Southeast Melbourne. The Kings, they just need something to feel good about going into the fourth quarter.
Angus Glover riding the ball. Adams bangs into Glover and scores off the glass. Xavier Cooks bumps into Geordie Hunter, gets the two and one to come.
Look at where Phoenix are getting the ball now. 2 and 3 feet outside the three-point line.
Here's Sydney's chance to take the lead through Malawatz.
Wow.
The Kings are back in front. Noi. It's quite Noi time. This has been quite the comeback. They've come from 18 down and won it by 9.
Welcome to the Hungry Jacks NBL Wednesday night hoops here in the Heartland. We've got Hurt, Cook, Sobey and Adams, as you can see on screen here. It is a star-studded lineup for both teams. As we take a look at the Mitsubishi ladder, it's third versus fifth. As always, it's a pleasure to have your company with us. I'm Kelsey Brown, joined by two of the absolute best in the commentary team, Beck Allen, WNBA star, and Pete Hooley, NBL champion. Guys, such a big game here tonight, Pete.
It really is. I mean, you look at that ladder there, the chance to someone to maybe get to second spot and someone to get a home court advantage in the play-in. So much riding on it. A packed State Basketball Centre doesn't get much better than this.
It's going to be a huge, huge game. We've got backcourt battles, we've got front court battles, but the battle of the coaches is the interesting one. We've got the GOAT, as we affectionately call Brian Goorjian, and we've got Josh King. He's been in charge of the resurgence from Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, Beck.
He absolutely has, and hasn't he just turned things around for his team? I think since he's come in, he's set a high level of standards, and that's really challenged the group, and they've all risen to that challenge, and you're seeing a much better team chemistry, but it's his energy that I love the most. He is infectious in an energy way, and everyone is rising to each game and each challenge.
He is on one side of the court, and on the other side, like I said, we've got the GOAT, Pete Hooley. You are familiar with Brian Goorjian. What have you loved about him this season?
Well, I mean, they're still finding wins, right, with all the questions that they have. And you actually go back to the last 2 times they played the Phoenix. They probably didn't deserve to win those games overall, but they were good enough in the clutch. They're the fourth quarter Kings for a reason, led by Jalen Adams to get the job done. So there's some questions there for him, and I'm sure he's going to have the answers for them.
We spoke about it. There is a backcourt battle. Jalen Adams up against Nathan Sobey. Jalen Adams has been in impressive form. He has had a bit of an up and down season. He had some injuries in there, but he's been impressive.
I mean, if you want to know how far the Kings can go and what their ceiling can be, it's going to be on the back of Jalen Adams. Xavier Cooks, yes, they've got other pieces, but in the fourth quarter, when the game is on the line, in the clutch moments, I'm probably taking Jalen Adams for an entirety of a fourth quarter over nearly any other team in the competition. He oozes clutch, and they're going to need him to step up big in this game.
Well, he's big for Sydney Kings, but a big play for Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, and probably a big part of why they have turned this season around is Nathan Sobey. 28 points last meet. He was formidable.
He's really just showing that he's a three-level scorer at the moment. He's getting to the rim, he's shooting the threes with confidence, but I just love how right now he's just letting the game come to him. He's playing with such a level of patience. He's getting everyone else involved, but he's also just trusting the process. He's trusting his teammates, like he said in his post-game interview last game.
There's a big thing about Southeast Melbourne at the moment is that any time on the floor they could have 5 possible scorers. Matt Hurt is one of those players. He has been in MVP discussions. Sobey is really pushing there lately, but Matt Hurt, he has been a standout for Southeast Melbourne Phoenix across the whole season.
He's been unbelievable. He's an all-NBL first-team lock for me. He's unguardable, and what I love the most, he is so unassuming the way he goes about it. He scores in a variety of ways. He's unique. He can finish through contact. He's got a beautiful fadeaway in the post. He's got a step-back 3-ball. The matchup between him and Xavier Cooks is worth the price of admission. As the State Basketball Centre starts to get on their feet, I love it here. I reckon he's set for a big one.
It is going to be an absolutely huge, huge game. Matt Hurt against Xavier Cooks against Cam Oliver. There are so many stars on this court. As we welcome in our last member of the commentary team and we get to our starting 5, Jack Hepburn, over to you.
Thank you very much, Kelsey. Great to be with you. What an atmosphere inside the State Basketball Centre. Southeast Melbourne call this the Heartland, and tonight it is sold out. And basketball fans from the southeast of Victoria have flocked to this wonderful, wonderful venue as we take a look at the starting five for both teams. Angus Glover out there starting tonight in the absence of Derek Walton Jr. running the point. Derek Walton Jr. to miss at least the remainder of the regular season. Malik Lewis, the next star as well, who has been out there for 20 of 24 games as a starter. When the two teams have played already this season, they've been really, really tight, tough contests. In round 8, it was Sydney, winners 74-69, and in round 15, it was Sydney 110-101 at Kudos Bank Arena. Chris Reed, Nico Fernandez, James Boyer, our three officials in charge tonight on a night, as Kelsey said, is an enormous one here in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
Quick foul there.
Bunce was fouled on the floor, Pete.
Yeah, quick foul there on Xavier Cooks, just giving his old teammate a little bit of a hug. But this is a fascinating matchup. If you actually look back to those first two games, Southeast Melbourne Phoenix had both games won. They had double-digit lead in that round 15 match, and they couldn't close it out. They'll want some revenge here in front of this packed house.
Here's the matchup that we were talking about pre-game. Matt Hurt v. Xavier Cooks. Hurt no good with his first look, and Cooks will fly down the floor. Back up top to Jalen Adams. And he's got Cam Oliver wide open. His first look short. Liafa had the ball fall into his lap. And it slipped through the fingertips of Paul Quallen out of bounds.
Such a unique environment down here in the State Basketball Centre. It's loud. It feels like a college atmosphere. Fans are right on top of you.
Hunter rolls to the basket. Oliver did well not to foul. Adams. Here's Paul Quallen with his feet set. Opening bucket of the night goes to the Kings. Good for Paul Quallen's confidence too, Pete. Has yet to have a double-figure game this season, which is quite extraordinary.
It's a staggering stat. Talking about him at Cairns, one of the best two-way players in the league, especially spot-up three balls, but he really advanced his offensive game last season. Good pass from Sobin. Another miss point blank. But no double-figure games all season. It's staggering.
0-3 to start the night. The Phoenix, and all of them have been from close range. Qual scores again. He's got all 5 of Sydney's points.
Yeah, he's starting with a lot of confidence, isn't he? From the outside and then getting to the rim too, showing that he's that two-way player. He's going to be hard to stop.
Late foul on the Arthur. The Phoenix have made a habit of coming out and punching the opposition in the face straight away. They've won 17 first quarters so far this season. They're nearly 4 points better than everyone else in Q1. And Sydney, who have got the first 5 points. Malik Lewis changes that. And now a turnover. The noise already back.
The noise, the crowd are invested in this, but as you see, yes, Angus Glover really didn't do a whole lot of pressure. It was his own fault losing that ball, but that full court pressure is going to be great for them all night.
Early time out here.
Well, Sydney Kings have done well. I mean, I know the Phoenix have missed some easy shots, but they were very quick time out, and Brian Goorjian is not happy.
He is absolutely losing his bananas over there in the Sydney Kings huddle, and we caught up with him pre-game.
Brian, thanks so much for joining me. You've spoken about playoff basketball last week and how at times you found that last week. What does it mean for you as a head coach? What does it look like to have playoff basketball for you and the Kings?
Well, I just think for us, it starts with the defensive side of the floor, which will be a big test tonight. You know, being able to get stops and playing off the stops. That is really something we've identified for us to be competitive in this. Now you've played to this point of the year where you only have 4 or 5 games left. My job is to identify how are we going to be able to compete with the top teams to win this thing. And really, it starts for us off the defensive end of the floor.
You've got...
looks a lot calmer there than what he is right now.
Staggering timeout. I mean, I know they've given up some easy looks, and then they've gone back to this starting 5. It's the one thing I'd like to see from Sydney in this back half of the back stretch of the season is to have a real settled starting 5. Just to have those roles identified. I think this is it.
So the 5 on the floor now, Qual, Oliver, Adams, Liafa and Cooks for Sydney. You think that's their best lineup?
Well, we've seen two. I think Tui's got to be in that lineup, but we've seen Sean Bruce and Tui come in.
Their passes on both sides really have been really loose with the ball. They need to clean it up.
Oliver with his back to the basket, muscles in on Geordie Hunter and scores. Kelsey Brown, what was Brian Goorjian worked up about?
Well, in the words of Brian Goorjian, he said, stop that goofball basketball. An interesting word choice for me, but he wasn't impressed. He said that is not how we throw the first punch. Him and Cam Oliver in their post-game presser last game said that they wanted to come out and stop being second-half basketball teams. They want to throw the first punch, and this is not how you do it.
Line up.
Lead by 5. Setting high standards early on the go.
But I think he has to, you know, he knows what they're capable of, and if they're playing this sort of basketball that he says in the huddle, he expects more from them.
Geordie Hunter, former Sydney King, 128 games on the Harbour side.
Back to the lineup I was talking about. If you get Alex Tui in, you have a chance with Tui, Qual, Oliver and Cooks especially. You can switch everything and be really disruptive with length and athleticism. They can all really guard anywhere on the floor.
Part of that is their length, isn't it? They've got so much length defensively that as a group, that's intimidating to play against.
So Alex Tui on the Sydney Kings bench. The next start, not starting tonight. Great look for Oliver. Even better look for Bull Qual. That'll satisfy Brian Goorjian.
Now, if he doesn't get double figures tonight, there's something in the water because he's got 8 points already. Really hot start for Bull Qual.
Only averaging 5 for the season. Coming out with a point to prove. Hurt misses another one from underneath. The Phoenix are 1 from 7, and it's all in the painted area.
Cam Oliver scared him out of it. Looked like he wanted to go up there and flush it, and Cam Oliver was just thinking, do I try and meet him at the rim? Ended up staying down, almost pulled the chair on the block attempt.
Malik Lewis tries his luck. Finding it a little hard to find the bottom of the net right now, the home team. Sydney Kings, on the other hand. Call for Oliver.
I'm loving this because right now they're going good to great with their shots. Maybe that last one was open, but then that extra pass, you've got a teammate that's wide open for that shot.
Sobey to the rack, scores.
I mean, they've been doing that for the first 3.5 minutes. They've just been missing layups. They're turning the corner, and that's probably why Brian Goorjian called a timeout. Is yes, the scoreboard might look great in Sydney's favour, but South East Melbourne are just missing some easy ones at the rim.
And I mean, in theory, Pete, they're not going to miss them all night, are they? Well, they shouldn't anyway, as Oliver draws contact from Hunter. There's the Amy replay. Good for Great Beck, as you said.
A wide open shot. If they play this style of basketball, because they've got that tendency to going back to that, you know, one pass basketball, that quick shot, and that's not always serving for them. That's not always a good thing for them. So when they play that team-orientated basketball, read the mismatches, read the open man, that's when they're at their best.
Received a lot of criticism at various stages of this year, Cam Oliver. Even his coach has raised his name a couple of times post-game. His last 5 games, 11 points, little under 8 rebounds, and about 20 minutes a game.
They want to go deep in the finals, which they're more than capable of. It's going to be a lot of Cam Oliver and what he can bring, staying locked in. Because we know, we've seen it, we saw it when he was here with Cairns. We've seen it enough this season as well, in those patches where he can really take over games and be a nightmare for the opposition.
Liafa out. Quach Malawat's in for his first minutes of the night. It's the Kings who lead by 10 here at the State Basketball Centre in southeast Melbourne. Heartland for the Phoenix. Glover from long range.
I'm going to be honest, I'm biased about Angus Glover. He's been a favourite of mine all season long because he just does, and just here as well, he's locking down defensively. A I love when they play this type of basketball out in transition, up in defense. But back to Angus Glover, I think the entire season he has always done his role and what is required in every moment, even playing point guard in so many situations now.
I feel like he's the sort of player that if you were going to build a go-to-war 5, Angus Glover would be right there.
100%.
He's going to find himself in the most improved player conversation as well, because he's gone into that starting point guard role without Derek Walton Jr. and he's helping contribute to wins a lot more than what the stat sheet shows. You see him full court pressure on Jalen Adams.
There's Derek Walton Jr. Hamstring injury, a serious one in Gippsland a couple of weeks ago, has rendered him injured for the remainder of the regular season.
Like what he saw.
We'll chat to him a bit later on. Adams, nice pass inside for Oliver. Caught a little bit of sneaker on the way through. This is only a stone's throw from where you grew up. Rebecca Allen playing in junior basketball.
Very right. Yeah, I used to play on this home court when I was with Melbourne Boomers as well.
Yes.
10 years ago, which is crazy.
Whitenoy into the game. He is in some sort of form right now. His first look doesn't count. Foxwell was exploring, almost comes undone. Wieskamp, quick release. Rebound by Alex Toohey. Whitenoy only knows one way.
Yeah, Whitenoy, he wakes up with a field goal attempt. They need that. They need this energy for him off the bench.
4 of 14 now, the Phoenix from the field. Toohey trying to use his size advantage. Leans in on Nathan Sobey.
Honestly, this is where Southeast Melbourne needs to be really disciplined defensively, because Sydney like to get to the free throw line. That's how they've stayed in games in so many moments. And being disciplined in how you play defense when you reach is going to be important for them.
Well, the teams played in round 15, which was on January the 2nd. Alex Toohey, a massive part of that win. 17 points, 7 assists, with 7-11 from the field, and came up with some really, really important plays in important times.
He's a Swiss Army knife. He does so many little things that can contribute to winning. As you said, with his size as well. Side of Spurgeon is one of probably the tallest player on the roster. So he's got the ability to, he switches onto a point guard, he can move his feet, knocks down that free throw. Just the third player for the Kings to score so far. It's been Cam Oliver and Bull Bowles who have filled it up to this point, and they're both on the bench.
Kings have led by as much as 10 in this game at the moment. They enjoy a 7-point advantage with 4 minutes remaining. In the first quarter, Toohey read it like a book and then stuffs it.
And straight back into defense. That's such a good effort by him.
20 years old, but basketball IQ far beyond his years. Alex Toohey comes up with a big play there. Sobey muscles his way in. He'll do it by any means necessary.
He's in ultra attack mode. The screen doesn't have to be set. He's putting his head down.
Cooks lost the handle, and then to rub salt in the wounds, picks up a foul at the same time.
Got to be a little smarter there, Cooks. That's his second foul. That one there, I know you're frustrated with the turnover, but just have one swipe at it when the ball's up for grabs and then let it be. One more foul here in the first quarter could be very interesting for him.
So stays in the game for now. How big of a gamble is that?
I think you trust that he's going to be smart enough not to put him in that situation again.
I'll be honest, if I'm the coach, I'm taking him out.
Impressive from Owen Foxwell.
You need him on the court in those big moments, especially at the end of the game. I wouldn't be risking it.
Well, if he's guarding Matt Hurd, if you're Josh King, you're trying to set him up in isolation and let him go to work. See if he can tempt Cooks into something to pick up that third.
Boy, no good. Here's Matt Hurd. 0 of 2 so far in the game. Wieskamp baseline, rips past Whitenoy. And at the risk of sounding like a broken record, there's another miss from close range.
They're doing all the hard work.
Green. 30 on the up.
See Gorgon, he's been up and about on the sideline. Wouldn't be too happy with the fact that, yes, they're up 5, but you break down all those misses, 6 of 17 for South East Melbourne. They've been layups.
Yep.
And it's not like it's coming off side-to-side ball movement or really good execution. It's just one guy, whoever it is, one pass, putting their head down, blowing past the initial defender. There's no help, and they're just blowing the layup.
Meanwhile, Sydney, on the other hand, 6 of 11 from the field, 5 of 5 from the free throw line. They've been pretty efficient so far, Beck.
Yeah, they love getting to the free throw line. That's a massive part of their game, but it's smart. Xavier Cooks is out. Good call.
As requested.
Good call, Coach.
By Coach Allen. Jordan Hunter coming to the scorer's table as well. Ben Air and Foxwell out there together, and it almost come undone again. The size and the wingspan of Alex Tui is a big problem for the Phoenix guards here. Air with 3 on the clock.
He'll love that, playing in front of this crowd. You can't be loose with the ball around Tui. He's unassuming with that length. He'll poke at it.
He is always looking to score, Kawhi.
You've got to be locked in. As soon as he touches that ball, he's a threat.
I think we're calling it, yeah.
He's taken his average up to 14.5 points a game. Career high day on Sunday in Sydney, Beck. 32 points. Is he a runaway winner?
Well,
Sixth man of the year.
I think he thinks he is too. You know what I really like about him too, and this isn't X's and O's, but it just looks like he's enjoying himself out there too, and that energy is also contagious amongst a group, and I think that it's always good having a teammate like that on your side.
He's definitely got 9.5 fingers on that trophy. He's been exceptional.
9.5.
Someone who can make a late run, but I don't think so. 3/4 then, Jack. What I love so much, you talk about the interview where he said that he mentioned himself. It's the second foul on Jordy Hunter is. I love how he's always been his true, authentic self, Kawhi Noi. Ever since he came to the league, it's what we always want to see from players, and just a very, very confident individual, and he's fun to watch.
Confidence the word. And I don't think it should be misunderstood. There can be a difference between confidence and arrogance.
There is, and again, I think we saw in every pro sport, we want to see athletes be themselves. We want to see transparency, authenticity. And those who don't like it, I don't understand, because this is who this man is. And we get to see it, the way he talks, the way he walks up about it. That's what makes him so fun to watch, and he steps up and delivers.
And he's always, look, it's just a small thing, always one of the first to come over and say hello at a game and ask how you're going.
Look at that shirt you're wearing, you loved it.
There it is.
How many times has he mentioned the shirt?
Great looking shirt. Great looking shirt.
What's wrong with it?
I love it.
What was the word? Rogue.
There we go.
That was the word.
What's wrong with that?
I love it. I think you look terrific.
There we go.
He missed our memo, Beck, but
Disingenuous, that's what that is, Pete Hooley. Disingenuous. 25-17. Must-win game for both teams, and it's the Kings who have had the better in this first quarter. Wieskamp, that's a nice look, and he obliges.
can't be helping off. You're Sean Bruce. I know on Foxwell was dancing with it. Your first pass away. Joe Wieskamp is coming off the bench, similar to Kawhi Noi, looking to let it fly.
A turnover 2. We talk about form in the last few weeks. Joe Wieskamp.
Oh, we're going to get a challenge here.
We might get a challenge. We will be. Brian Gorgon.
Ryan, challenge.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
Ryan. Timeout, Sydney. You got to touch the challenge.
He looked very quickly at his bench. I don't think they could have replayed that in time. Now, he burnt that timeout in the very first couple of minutes.
This is a bold call.
So, Kawhi Noi, he was the one calling for it. He was confident.
What happens next?
Oh,
I need that again.
yeah, this might be the angle right here. Or the other one just slowed down, maybe. Oh, Foxwell did a really good job. Got his hand in it. Now, if Coit Noi thought that it was a foul from Foxwell, that has nothing to do with this play.
No.
This is going to be the angle. You can see
that might have caught the half a finger you were talking about of Owen Foxwell.
Yeah, you can see Foxwell's fingers move slightly, but they'll break it down and zoom in the replay center. If there enough evidence, it's tough. I don't like the challenge in general for the sake of all you're getting is the ball back. You're not saving crucial fouls, you're not saving free throws. It's literally just a possession with 1.5 minutes left in the first quarter. It's just not worth it.
Brian Gorge's now just had a look at and you can see the reaction. He's had a look at his video staff, and now he's had a look at Coit Noi. He's burnt his coach's challenge back in the first quarter.
Yeah, you can see that he's frustrated potentially with his team.
I thought I could have saw maybe Foxwell's fingers move, but even still, it's just not worth it. I just don't think it's worth it this early in the game.
I'd love to talk about Foxwell. Firstly, he's being so aggressive offensively, but when we look at some stats, he has one of the best assist-to-turnover ratios in the league. I think he's so unassuming. You no one's talking about him in that sense, and I just think that's a pretty impressive stat line.
Crowd's starting to come alive now.
Here comes Foxwell again. They're back within 3. Air to tie it up. Cam Oliver with the rebound. And a tower of strength under there. Pass batted down. 34 seconds. Josh King wants his team to go. Foxwell. He's called for an offensive foul.
Great take from Sean Bruce. Playing with energy. Sean Bruce just in the right spot.
That's experience, isn't it?
It's Phoenix coach Josh King. They're in a fight tonight. They're playing a Sydney Kings team who have won 4 of their last 5 and might just now be starting to put it all together at the right time of the year. Oliver gets all tangled up.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm having a look at this if I'm Josh King. He's not happy. I'm having a look at this if I'm Josh King. Yeah, he's going to have a look. He's going to challenge it.
This might be a better case than what Sydney had about a minute ago.
Just wondering on the first glance whether Bogdanovic is straight up or is the left arm a little bit down. Keep an eye on the left arm. It's the one that gets tangled up. But does it only come down because there's contact made from Oliver?
I think he's pretty unlucky. What more can he do?
I think I'm with you, Beck.
Reminder, it has to be definitive evidence to overturn the original decision.
So I'm coming down with the left arm. So when he cops that probably hip to hip from Cam Oliver's right hip into the midriff, that's going to automatically bring your body down anyway. So that it's not really up to him to control. I think he's done a pretty good job there.
Yeah.
The coach's challenge is coming through our ear is going to be unsuccessful. Scott Butler in the replay centre. Scott, walk us through that one, please.
Good evening, everybody. When you look at the play, especially when you look at it from a side camera angle, defense initially is pretty good by Vodanovic, but then as the play develops further, you see Vodanovic's arm come entangled with the left arm of the shooter. That's where the illegal contact occurs, and that foul will stand.
Well, we didn't get to see the sideline angle they got, but I'll tell you what, Xavier Cooks thought that they got lucky there. He made a gesture that he didn't expect them to be shooting free throws. And with 2 unsuccessful coaches challenges in the first quarter, they're all done.
Do you get the sense that Heartland fans are hungry tonight?
Cam Oliver smiling.
Berger's on the line. Not yet.
No.
Not yet.
But even when we talk about free throws again, the Sydney Kings are 11 of 12, and South East Melbourne are 1 of 2.
Cam Oliver just summoned words to the Phoenix faithful.
Shot clock switched off. Phoenix haven't shot the ball well in the first quarter. Yeah. Got it away quickly. There will be time potentially for Sydney. It'll be a prayer from Tui. Polished performance from the Sydney Kings in the first quarter, 26-22. They lead Wednesday night hoops in southeast Melbourne. Stick with us. It's the Hungry Jacks NBL. A spirited first quarter at the State Basketball Centre. The Sydney Kings leading 26-22. They got 10 points out of Cam Oliver in the opening quarter, 8 out of Bull Quoll and 6 out of Alex Tui. And despite all of that, some frustration for Kings coach Brian Goorjian and plenty of frustration for Josh King, the coach of the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Pete Hooley and Beck Allen in commentary. There's a lot of red crosses on that Blackmore shot chart.
There are, but I feel like their game is going to come to them. It always does. It's not the start that they would have wanted. They were planning to come out with intent in how they were going to play. But second quarter, this is their time to rise. And I can see a lot more green dots coming onto that shot chart.
Jalen Adams has made a quiet start. That is a beautiful pass inside for Xavier Cooks.
Great execution. Start the quarter. Little pocket pass. Doesn't matter who's weak side. If you give Xavier Cooks a runway.
Hurt's been uncharacteristically quiet in this first quarter. Yet the score.
Good field goal attempt as well.
Down to Oliver. Rattles out. Kelsey Brown, you were listening to Josh King at quarter time. Back to Cal shortly. A lot of noise inside this venue. No foul on Malik Lewis first time. Eventually, they find the whistle, and Josh King's been teed up. Here's the play firstly.
That one was clean. This one right here, it's an easy call. So I'm wondering if Josh King had already had a warning.
It was a pretty quick tech from Nico Fernandez, wasn't it? Jalen Adams will be on the line. A little bonus for the Kings.
There you go, you've just heard it there through Referee Mikes. It was a bench tech.
Here we go, 2 go.
And Malik Lewis 20-year-old from Trinidad and Tobago misses the first. Kelsey Brown, you were listening to Josh King at quarter time.
I was, and I don't think he'd be as happy now with that tee as he was at quarter time, but he was incredibly impressed with their claw back. He has brought Matt Hurt back into that 5, and he said, I want more of the offense to go through him. As you guys said, only 2 attempts in the first. They wanted to get him going.
Not often, Pete, that we've said that Matt Hurt's scoreless in the first quarter of a game.
Well, we've seen the teams that have had success against Sydney. They've been using the inside, their lack of height.
Push. White. On the floor.
But again, to only have 3 field goal attempts for one of the best players in the competition this season, Matt Hurt. I know the guards had a bit of success. Let's try and get him going.
6 points and 13 points from his 2 games against the Kings this season. So they've been able to find a method of stopping him that not many other teams have. Deflected out of play. 2.9 on the shot clock for the Kings.
Josh King not happy because he thought both Glover and Lewis just stared at that ball. Glover went to get it late. They should have come up with that.
Great help defense.
The inbound is going to run out of time.
That's great help defense. As you could see, the Glover was trailing behind. And for him to step in front, especially with the shot clock getting low, that's great team defense.
Versatility of a man like Xavier Cooks. Xavier Cooks is guarding. They switch back to Bogdanovic. I've seen him be guarding Nathan Sobey at times. They can switch everything. Here it is.
Cooks an elite defender. Sobey got him up in the air.
Oh, game ball.
That's with us.
And of course it happens as we're singing his praises. That's his 3rd foul. He doesn't have to do this. He's got the length. He's got the length to bother shots without having to jump that far forward. Smart play by Sobey. Cooks is more upset with himself than anything because now he's going to sit down for the rest of this quarter.
This is a big challenge for the Kings now. They are so used to having Xavier Cooks out on the floor almost at all times. He averages 28 minutes a game.
Yeah, because he has such a big impact, and even if we just talk defensively, the way that he can switch on to to guards and not just play bigs like Pete just said, I think that versatility is essential to their success, especially because they are such a defensive-minded team.
It allows Alex Tui to probably play out the majority of this quarter. And also, don't be surprised now with Cook sitting down if they really try to get Matt Hurt going.
Adams out there with Oliver, Liafa, Malawatch and Tui for the Kings. Glover, Bogdanovic, Sobey, Hurt and Lewis for the Phoenix. Oliver up top for Liafa. That's a bit strong. Here's Glover with his first rebound of the night. Lost the handle. Guess who's involved again? Tui coast to coast.
Athlete, absolute athlete. The way that he pushes out, and then he finds a way of changing his shot depending on the pressure of the rim.
8 points now for Alex Tui. Getting it done at both ends of the floor.
Sobey really an emphasis of putting his head down and getting to the rim. And you also notice that even if Phoenix go on a run, Sydney have no timeouts. They burnt that last timeout trying to challenge the out of bounds.
We've spoken so much about the resurgence of Southeast Melbourne under Josh King. But the resurgence of Nathan Sobey under Josh King, that we spoke about on overtime on Tuesday night, Hulls. 19 points, 4 rebounds and 5 assists a game is this man's average since Josh King arrived.
He averages those numbers all season. You're having the conversation of the All-NBL teams. He has been unbelievable under Josh King. Started with Sam McKinnon as well.
What do you think that is, Beck? What is it that Josh King's been able to unlock with Nathan Sobey?
I think maybe he's connected with him in the right way of teaching him how to trust his teammates as well. And I think that's what we even saw in his post-game, last game interview, is that he's trusting the process, he's trusting his teammates, and I think he's just knowing that he's going to get the ball back. He's great shot.
Splash from Kawhi.
But you can just know that he knows the ball is going to come back to him. I think that's a big part of that trust process.
Sobey head down. Couldn't score that time, thought he was fouled, but officials had already left the scene, and Chris Reed's warned that.
Is that a Falcon? So Alex Tui's saying he didn't touch. Alex Tui's saying he didn't touch it, but it didn't matter because Alex Tui can't believe it. The deflection, I don't think he saw it. The deflection, I think, came off Chris Reed's head.
Just straight into him. And he didn't flinch, Chris Reed, either.
To be fair, he was open.
He was. He should have shot that. Sobey will shoot it. Always happy to shoot it.
And remember, no timeouts for Sydney.
Noy finishes again. He's starting to get his game going now. 7 points for Kawhi Noy.
It's the blessing for Brian Gorge, and when Xavier Cooks has 3 fouls, it's not an ideal situation, but to have Tui and Noy be able to hold down the front court, their length, the versatility, the offensive explosion from Noy, and then you've got Tui, who's currently guarding Matt Hurt.
I think what you also lose with having Xavier Cooks out is that movement. He's always on the weak side. He's cutting those late cuts, those setting those pinch screens to get those flares for his teammates. He creates a lot of offense for his teammates without touching the ball. So having him off, I hope they don't go stagnant.
Long rebound falls back to Foxwell. Sobey fires away. He's probably ill-advised. 14 points for the game, though. He's the leading scorer. 10 for Cam Oliver. He's their leading scorer for Sydney. Jalen Adams levitates with his first field goal. Good contest, this one. 5th versus 3rd on the table. Sobey aggressive.
He is in attack mode, Nathan Sobey. That's just a really smart play. Calling a play they called shirt, where Wieskamp was coming up to set a screen, and it was enough for Liafa to come out of his stance, and in a flash, Sobey was gone. And I like that you see a defender like Tui, and he basically didn't even see him. He was going to try and flush that.
He's led by 4 at quarter time. They've expanded that margin ever so slightly.
1.
Like the green uniforms, Beck, the Phoenix are wearing tonight.
The lime green, you definitely can't miss them, but it's going with the rest of the arena. It's an electric colour, isn't it?
I like it better with the Sydney Kings white. The New Zealand Breakers light blue, which I also love, but together,
a clash.
Real pastel energy.
Couldn't help but notice, Beck, you didn't exactly jump in to say yes then, did you?
I'm not a green fan.
Adams for Noy, he's already knocked down 1 from that spot. There's his second.
Can't lose that man. Got to make sure you find him when he gets off the bus.
41-33. Kings have had the answer from the moment this game started. You can't keep a good man down. Hurt engineers away to the cup.
I mean, that is a great bucket. That's footwork, that's that sort of execution, but that entire offense was just run on the right side of the court. The ball did not move sideways. I'd hope to see a bit more of that.
Oh, that's caught a block. Josh King just laughing. I thought he read that pretty well, Nathan Sobey. No challenge.
Pretty clear what the home fans thought.
Josh King had a couple of words to us. I thought Sobey did a pretty good job. Still maybe moving to the right on that angle. Noy, instant offense. That's a good call in the end.
It's back out to 8. Southeast Melbourne got as close as 3. As I mentioned before, the Kings have been steady all night long so far.
Well, the Kings just need to stay locked in on that play. So they're bringing up Wieskamp to set a screen. The play is designed for whoever the point guard is. It was Sobey the possession before. That time it was Foxwell to use it. And then they're going to try and get some confusion. And often, more than not, you can kick it back to Wieskamp, who's going to pick and pop 3. But as soon as they call that play, it was Liafa first time. It was Malawatch that time. They just get out of their stance, expecting a screen, looking for it. And then Foxwell that time just put his head down and drew the foul. One shot.
They've already had a bench check tonight, the Phoenix. Foxwell leaves both on the line. And far from their most polished shooting performance so far, Southeast Melbourne. Sydney, on the other hand, have been clinical. Timeout, Southeast Melbourne. Jalen Adams getting hot. Sydney have been hot all night long.
They've been really good, really efficient, 60% from the field. 14 and 15 from the free throw line. That's the difference right now. They're putting some heat on the rim. Doing enough to get some stops.
10-point lead right now for the Kings, and pre-game, Kelsey Brown caught up with the man of the moment for the Sydney Kings, Kawat Noy.
Noy had 32 points last week. He's been effective off the bench all year. As his head coach, what have you loved from what he's brought all season?
Well, I just have been, starting with him this year and having anticipation of who you're coaching. Just all the things that the fans and spectators don't see. He gets a 10 out of 10. He's amazing in that form. And then his skill package was much more than I thought I was getting. And as you can see this year, the confidence is there and he's evolving, he's growing. So he's still in a phase of his career where he can get better. So we're very excited about him. And he, as you say, he's had a tremendous year for us.
My apologies. Brian Gorson talking on Kawat Noy. 26 years of age. Beck and Pete, is that about the time where it all starts to come together? You start to work this game out?
I mean, I think that's always a work in progress. I mean, I'm still working the game out at this point in my career too. Don't put age on it. But no, I am loving to see that even Gorge is just loving coaching him. I think that that's a huge thing to say about a player as well. But I love to see that he sees growth for him still too.
I can't answer that because I retired straight after that.
No, maybe you did work it out. Maybe at 26 you said, this is not for me.
I'm done.
You might be the smartest one out of everyone, Pete. Sobey drives and scores.
Great finish.
He is strapping this team on his back right now.
That's just such a tough finish from Sobey.
Well, on you.
Have a look at the Amy replay. And Ben Air, they're coming into the same guard-to-guard screen, and then Kawat Noy just out of position.
It's literally a ghost screen, like you've been saying. They're just tapping the hip and then going, there's no screen in the end.
And you can see that whoever the guard was, I didn't catch it there. I think it might have been Jalen Adams, was trying to X out. You're not supposed to help off that strong side corner, which is where Kawat Noy was. But if you are going to go, you've got to go early enough that whoever is guarding Sobey can run onto your man in the corner. When you get caught in no man's land, that's when you get in trouble.
Kelsey, what did Josh King have to say in the timeout?
Well, Southeast Melbourne were a bit flat. That might give them a little bit of a boost, but a reminder that, wow, a massive, massive dunk from Cam Oliver. A reminder that Southeast Melbourne are a struggling second quarter team. They lost last game against New Zealand, 27-19 in that second quarter. They're currently sitting neck and neck with Sydney, but they do struggle in the second quarters.
3-10, hold. Yeah.
Jalen Adams for Cam Oliver.
Left out first.
Seen that a few times.
He'll never get old.
Seen that a few times. This game's got a real playoff atmosphere about it on the floor.
Here it is.
Simple pick and roll. Once Adams gets to there, he knows he's just got to put it anywhere.
Sobey picked the pocket and then threw it away. Brian Gorsian from the other side of the court absolutely cooks McQuatch Malawatch. On a night like this and on a game like this, the little things are the big things. Adams for Malawatch. That'll work.
Sobey there, who just fell asleep, got caught ball watching. Malawatch just cut right in front of him.
It's a game-high 11-point lead now for the Kings. 3:18 before half-time. Sobey with a hand in the face, a high degree of difficulty.
I want to get the ball to Matt Hurt. Sobey's been exceptional, 19 points, but especially with Cooks in foul trouble, Hurt just 1 of 4, 2 points, and they've fallen asleep on defense.
Everything's dropping for Kawatnoi.
That's when you know everything's going right, don't you? That type of roll is a shooter's roll.
He was wide open with a capital W. 15 points and a half. Sobey trying to take matters into his own hands.
I don't think that's sustainable.
No.
Yes, he's managed to draw some fouls, but that ball has to find Matt Hurt.
Well, it makes it an easy defensive game for Sydney as well. They just need to shrink the floor.
Well, they're going to live with that, aren't they? They're going to live with those tough shots.
Definitely.
Isolation ball at times.
Contested shots.
Maybe a bit, but it's still, there's too much contact for nothing on that.
Even if there is,
If
I
I
know
did
that.
that's a flop warning on me. But because it's Sobey, for some reason, it's a foul on me.
I'd like to
Fairly
think if
extended.
someone bumped you that hard on a rebound, would
I've
have
been
a
bumped so many times, and
would
I've
have a
been,
foul for you
all
as
I get
well.
is this. You don't think so?
All the time.
Last couple games, that's happened to me twice, and it's been this.
Okay.
He fell over. That's too easy.
Okay. I'm not going to argue with you.
I know.
Nico and I both
I'm
had the
just saying my
same.
opinion.
Yeah.
All good.
I love that.
Me too.
Love that from
Me
Bull
too.
Call.
He's a very, very good referee, Chris Reid.
When you can make it a conversation, I think that that's the best way. You know, he didn't come at the referee at all.
Chris Reid saying, not always right as well.
No.
Interaction.
I like that.
Sobey's going to check out with 2 minutes to go. As he said, he's been great, 21 points, but they just need to get Matt Hurt involved in the offense. Not just going, but involved in the offense.
4 field goal attempts and a half. Qual goes straight through the middle of Glover and lays it up for the first time this season. Bull Qual has double figures. Glover trying to get busy on Adams. It's not the sort of offense we've come to expect from Southeast Melbourne. And it doesn't help when they keep missing from underneath. Noi in rhythm. Oh, yeah!
That's the dagger, though. That's the dagger. When you put up a shot that you miss, and misses can be like turnovers in some ways, and then that defensive transition not being there, getting an open 3, that's not good for Southeast Melbourne.
Noi. They're just doing too much with it. Isolation ball at times. 9 turnovers.
Oliver fires cross court. Malawatch to Cam Oliver, who was there the whole time. Final minute of the first half. Ben Air head down to the basket.
They're the ones where you can kind of break it off in transition when the defense isn't set.
Adams inside for Oliver! Look out! That is a serious grown man's dunk.
Big shot. They needed that.
It's going to be a double-figure lead for Sydney at halftime. And they'll get one last look at it with game and shot clock almost as one. Here's Adams pulling up and knocking down the three. They have been exceptional tonight, the Sydney Kings. And if this is the sort of Sydney lineup that's going to come out in postseason, then look out the rest of the competition.
Oh man, they have been clinical. Cam Oliver, Kuat Noi, Jalen Adams there to finish. Paul Qualls into double figures for the first time. What a performance.
62 points and a half, Kelsey Brown.
Sydney are up and about. I'm here with Kuat Noi. An impressive first half from you. An impressive first half from you. How have you seen the first half offensively? 62 points and a half is huge.
Yeah, it is. So they still got 45 points, so, you know, we just got to knuckle down on the defensive end and hopefully we'll pick it up in the second half.
Nathan Sobey's been on fire for them, 21 points for him to the half as well. How do you shut him down in the second?
Yeah, he's a tough player, man. We just got to, you know, stick to the game plan, our defensive concepts, and hopefully we can stop him in the second half.
Unbelievable by you. Go and enjoy the second half.
Appreciate it.
18 points for Kuat Noi at halftime. And as we head to the main break, Space Cam doing what he does best. The Kings lead 62-45. Pete, Peck and Kelsey are going to break it down next in the halftime show here in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
Welcome back to the Hungry Jacks NBL. It's halftime here in the Heartland. Southeast Melbourne Phoenix are hosting the Sydney Kings, but it has been all Sydney Kings and all Kuat Noi. 62-45 at the half, Sydney lead. It has been absolutely absolutely incredible. The energy in this building has been huge. It's been playoff basketball, Beck.
It has been playoff basketball. The energy's up, but also you just see that Sydney have come out to fight right from the start. They're not interested in playing catch-up basketball at all today. So I'm loving to see how they've started the first half.
They said that they wanted to throw the first punch, and they've definitely done that. Led by none other than sixth man of the year. I reckon we could call it at this point. Quite Noi, Pete Hooley.
He's been unbelievable. Instant offense on the bench. The confidence that he plays with, the confidence he lives with, it's just so special. As we have a look at the Hungry Jacks highlights. He missed a couple of shots early when he checked into the game, but then through some breakdowns as well from the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, who left him open. You cannot give this man any more confidence than he already has. If he sees one hit the bottom of the net, the next one's going up in half a second. That one's going to hit the bottom of the net. He got the shooter's roll on this one that rolled around and went down. But this is what Noi does. And when he's rolling, the team's firing up, good things happen.
He's got so much confidence, he tried to give me a handshake at halftime. We absolutely loved that. As you can see here on his Blackmore shot chart, 18 points at the half, 5 from 8 from the field, 63%, 4 from 5 from the perimeter back. That is unbelievable shooting.
I mean, that's a great percentage, isn't it? And you can just see that when he gets going, he's hard to stop. So he's someone that after this halftime break, Southeast Melbourne need to get together and figure out, hey, what are we going to do defensively?
Well, Kings need to figure out how to stop Nathan Sobey. That's on the other side of things. They've got 45 points to the half. Nathan Sobey has 21 of them, Pete.
Yeah, I mean, he's not doing anything crazy either. He's just turning the corner. Have a look at these ones. There's a little bit of a brush screen. He's putting heat on the rim. He's shot 10 free throws, hasn't missed one yet in this game. He needs someone else to come along for the ride, and this is where they miss Derek Walton Jr. though, because Nathan Sobey's balling out. They need a true point guard to come in, settle it down and say, you know what, Sobes, you've done a lot of heavy lifting, but let's try and get Matt Hurt going. I cannot believe that they've got an all-NBL potential first-team member in Matt Hurt, who's sitting there on 4 field goal attempts. Thank goodness Leonard Copeland's not calling this game, because he would say, feed that man, he wants to eat.
There is so much going on in this game. I cannot believe the margin at the moment with the energy that's being played, but let's take a look at the live ladder that includes this game that we've got here. Sydney obviously leading at the moment. They're sitting 3rd, Southeast Melbourne Phoenix 5th, and we've got another game tonight. It's Wednesday night hoops, maybe the biggest Wednesday night of the year in NBL 25. We've got Bryce Cotton up against Chris Golding, Perth Wildcats against Melbourne United. This one is going to be huge.
Oh, it's going to be fun. There's always fireworks between these two teams. Both teams fighting for second spot to avoid the play-in tournament altogether. Get straight to a semi-final series. Bryce Cotton putting together an unbelievable scoring season, on track to get his 5th MVP. He's been outstanding, and normally when Melbourne and Perth play, it doesn't matter the form that they're in, doesn't matter who's suiting up. It normally comes down to a couple of shots. He can crunch time, and when that man's playing, anything can happen.
Yeah, he's been unbelievable. Another man that has been incredible of late, that massive three-point shot over in New Zealand, is Chris Golding. 46 points last time these two teams met.
And we're talking about clutch shots. This is the man who's going to do it. He wants the ball. But what I love about how United play is they try to get him the ball. So when he's going, they are always setting screens. They're getting him open. And as you see here, he needs little to no space. He's letting that ball go.
So that's happening over in the West after this. And I want to ask about here, right now. We've got a game on our hands. The margin doesn't say what is happening on the court, I don't think. Pete, what do you think Southeast Melbourne need to do to get back in this game?
I mean, they've actually had some really good looks. They've missed so many easy ones underneath the hoop, but as I said before, it's not rocket science. You've got an all-NBL caliber player, all-NBL first-team potential, Matt Hurt. Get him involved in the offense. Let that man who can be unguardable go to work.
It has been such a big night here, and we've got another massive second half coming up. But as I said, Perth Wildcats and Melbourne United happening over in the West. We cannot wait for this one as well. Second position on the ladder up for grabs. RAC Arena, 9:30 p.m. Don't go anywhere. Second half of basketball here, and another game over in the West.
time here at the State Basketball Centre. It is the Sydney Kings firmly in control at the main break, and part of that reason, Pete Hooley and Beck Allen, is that Matt Hurt, one of the competition's best players, only has 2 points to the half.
It's really through no fault of his own, because he just was not involved in the offense, and this is where I know Nathan Sobey's got 21 points, but they turned very isolation heavy. It wasn't just Sobey. Everyone thought they had an advantage because, to be fair, they were blowing past Sydney at will. It didn't matter. Whoever turned a corner, whatever guard it was, they seemed to get heat on the rim. They missed layups. But outside of that, when you aren't ticking the scoreboard over, what do you do? This man, as we keep harping on about, has been unguardable this season. Not just score, but get him involved in the offense. Set picks, roll it into him, play off him. I guarantee you Sydney sat there at halftime being like, this is great that he's just not touching it.
So how do you do that early, Beck? First 2-3 plays of the third quarter? How do you make Matt Hurt a priority?
I think you have to have gone in at halftime and say, hey, we're going to run these offenses because we want the ball to go through him. And just as Pete said, it's not necessarily for him to score. It doesn't need to be a play for him. But as long as we're seeing the ball move and go from side to side, that's going to be good for them and make the defense play for a full 24 seconds.
Let's get a look at it here. Phoenix in possession first. Xavier Cook's guarding Matt Hurt with 3 fouls. Glover.
Great cut.
That is exactly what they were after.
But that's him being opportunistic as well. He saw the late cut, defense turns their head and he's gone.
I know they tried to throw it straight into him, but that's not the answer either. It's not just bring it down and say, hey, post up, we'll throw it to you. Just get a little bit of action.
Watch Mellor, watch out there. To start their second half, full qual on the bench with a couple of fouls. Xavier Cooks looks a little bit sore.
I think he just copped the knee right to the kneecap. A little bit of a stinger.
Isaiah Liafa steps up and takes his turn. Kings 9 of 14 from long range. They're 9th in the competition in that stat across the season. Radar's on tonight. Hunter went upstairs.
When they go back and have a look at this review, another one within the charge circle that they have missed.
Compression bandage around the elbow of Cam Oliver. We'll keep an eye on that one. Adams wide open. He will make you pay all night long with that sort of space.
They're cooking. They are cooking right now, the Sydney Kings. Adams into double figures now. Not even doing anything special offensively. It's just there's breakdowns from the Phoenix, and Sydney, they're just too good. They're going to make you pay.
No, exactly right. And the breakdowns come from, you've got the stunter that's there on the nail, but then when the stunter leaves too early before the defender gets back in front, that's when you get these open shots.
Sobey, nice pass for Hunter.
Last couple of possessions, he's still been aggressive, Sobey, but he's looked to pass for the cutters.
Four Sydney Kings players in double figures. Oliver, Adams, Qual, and Noy sharing the love. Meanwhile, for Southeast Melbourne, only Nathan Sobey, with ball in hand right now, has 21 points. Forces his way in. He's monstered over the back by Oliver.
That's a huge block, isn't it?
Stalked him all the way to the basket.
He did, and it's team defense, isn't it? That wasn't his man.
Shot clock at 9 for Glover, with a hand in the face. Malik Lewis wrestles it back for the Phoenix. Oh, mid-range jumper. Again, under pressure.
Did well to get the offensive rebound, but then there was no ball movement. The tough shots to try and continue to score off.
An offensive clinic from the Kings tonight. 70 points, 65% from the field, 62% from outside, and 93% from the free throw line.
That's just awesome defense by Cooks.
Ball on the floor. We'll end up with a jump ball and possession arrow going the way of the Kings.
What I love most about the Sydney Kings, they've got 15 assists on 23 made field goals. They are playing for one another.
But also this effort, exactly right, the hustle, is this effort that both coaches are defensive-minded coaches, so they're going to love seeing stuff like this.
Comes Matt Kenyon. So Josh King going in more defensive lineup now.
Very minimal. That's why he didn't
Kenyon and Foxwell.
Kings by 4 points at quarter time. 17 was the lead at the main break. Currently they are out by 21. The State Basketball Centre. A reminder, Perth and Melbourne up next from RAC Arena. Kenyon gets after it. What he's out there to do, defend and hustle.
Matt Hurt has Isaiah Liafa on him, not even on the ball on his side. It just can't happen. And Matt Hurt there probably has to be a little bit more assertive. He's got his hand up, but scream and say, I've got a smaller guard on me.
They're being dominated. They are being absolutely dominated by the Sydney Kings. They can't put a foot wrong tonight.
But it feels like they've gone away from, this is Southeast Melbourne, they've gone away from their identity and how they've played games in the past. They don't typically play this, especially since those first 5 games of the season. They've really played a lot more together. That basketball, everything's moving. People know what their roles are, who they want to get the ball. And today, at this moment, it's not really looking that way.
To Pete's point, Pete was talking about how many assists, 15 assists on 24 makes for the Kings. Conversely, Beck, just 6 assists for the night for the Phoenix.
That says everything, doesn't it? That shows how the game is.
72-49, Derek Walton Jr. not out there tonight for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. I'm sure he'd love to be, but he's been kind enough to put the headset on for us. Derek, thank you for your time. First and foremost to how you're going. How is the recovery?
I'm doing okay. Slowly but surely getting back on 2 feet. I'm able to move without pain, so probably a few weeks out.
Derek, right now you see your team in a bit of a hole. When you're viewing it and you know you can't get out there, what kind of advice are you talking, especially the guards, trying to get back into this game?
Just take the simple ones. I think they're speeding us up. Obviously, we didn't let them get comfortable, but it's a game of runs, man. It's a lot of game left, but obviously we got to take away the easy ones. They get some easy, they get some catch and shoots and some dunks. That's always hard to guard.
And lastly, I know how much of a competitor you are. This is your former team. It must feel real frustrating not being able to go out there and compete.
Oh, man, I asked them why they wasn't this height when I came to kudos, man. I love the energy. But no, it's always good to see those guys, though, obviously.
Derek, thanks for your time. We'd love to see you back out there sooner rather than later.
Absolutely. Take care.
Gee, they'd love to have him out there tonight.
Well, that's what I spoke about in the first half, in the halftime break, is just a true point guard to be able to settle things down and say, hey, let's get our all-NBL guy involved. That last possession before the timeout was the prime example where things aren't going their way.
Kuwait Noy coming to the scorer's table. He leads the Kings with 18 points. Badly needed 3 ball.
Good shot.
Phoenix chance to try and flip the script on the first 2 meetings.
Here's Oliver at the top of the key.
Sydney have just got Southeast Melbourne in rotations. They're constantly playing scramble defense.
They've scored the last 6. And you can add 2 more to that.
Tell you what, Owen Foxman might have a case. I thought that was going to be a foul before the goaltend. A little bit of a shove. Josh King asking Chris Reed the same question. A little bit of a run.
It's the first time tonight that the Phoenix have been able to get any sort of momentum.
That right there, that right hand, we've seen less than that called, but the goaltend stands.
Cooks to the rack. Matt Hurd looks up and has a bit of separation for the first time. Foxwell from outside.
This place is ready to erupt.
Liafa with a crossover and then the dime for Bullquall.
They look lost out there, don't they? Just defensively, they look like they've really lost their rhythm, and it's a team that's usually really on a string. I like that.
I'll tell you what, Josh King, after Owen Foxwell, that layup from the Kings, Owen Foxwell walked the ball off the court. Josh King was yelling at him to push the pace, and he's turned straight to Nathan Sobey. So if he's pulling Foxwell off here, he's trying to send a message to his team. We need to push this tempo. He was coming in for Matt Kenyon, but he's really trying to get some more possessions in this game.
It's the closest they've been in a while here, the Phoenix. Sydney had that lead out to 23 a couple of minutes ago. Back within 14 now. Hurt with the size advantage over Liafa. They identify that.
Finally, there was a switch. Hurt tried to back down Liafa. Liafa did a pretty good job. You can see Kuwait Noy is ready to go double team as well.
Sobey from the baseline, 14 on the shot clock. Wieskamp got his legs caught up.
Isaiah, watch out. Move on, move on.
They have no challenges remaining. Another turnover, that's now 8 in the game for the Phoenix. Foul will be on Foxwell. Jalen Adams will be at the stripe. How do you guard a guy like Jalen Adams, Beck, who just seems to have so much time? A player like that who is never rushed, and you almost can't force them into making a bad decision.
Yeah, and I think also because he's a 3-level scorer, makes it tough as well. But I think it's when you put someone with length on him, so they can have that space defensively. They don't have to be too close because he's such a quick first-step player. But that length can really help deter from that three-point shot. But, I mean, he's always going to be a tough matchup for any team.
Beck Allen, Pete Hooley, Kelsey Brown, Jack Heverin with you. The Wednesday night hoops in southeast Melbourne. The Wildcats and Melbourne United coming up next from RAC Arena.
2.
Matt Hurt on the free throw line for the first time tonight.
Surely this has to get him going.
This is the southeast Melbourne Phoenix owner. Not quite as excited as the last time we did a Phoenix game here at the State Basketball Centre. Matt Kenyon getting set to check back in. Noy, confidence is sky high. Left that one short.
Tell you what, if they get within single digits for the fourth quarter, this place is going to go nuts.
Clock winds down to 3 minutes. Tui lent in, which gave her just enough room. Wieskamp can't tip it in either. Kings have got the numerical advantage up ahead. But only for a moment. Wieskamp with the jam, and it's a 12-point game.
Well, that's going to help. May have been a little cherry in that, just hanging back while you get off the floor.
I wasn't going to mention that.
Doesn't say it on the score sheet. Kuwait Noy. Who do they turn to when they need a bucket?
Big shot, Kuwait.
Just a settler for the Kings. They've got a Phoenix team coming at them hard in the third quarter. Here's Sobey from deep. A bit happening off the ball. That'll be a foul on the Phoenix. That's the Amy replay. Right place, right time.
I mean, it worked out for him, didn't it? Just getting that a little bit slow and getting up off the floor. Worked out very well.
chance to pull this within single digits. Now they've got to make sure they get a couple more stops because Sydney are punishing them any breakdown.
Adams, guarded by Foxwell. Jumps out of the cylinder. Foxwell told to push it. We heard Pete talk about it a couple of minutes ago. They want fast tempo. They want multiple looks to end the quarter. Big offensive rebound by Hurt. And he draws contact as well.
Battling hard, Matt Hurt. Even when he doesn't see it, he's trying to keep it alive on the offensive rebounds.
He's really having to work for all these points, isn't he, tonight?
79 points from Sydney. This has been one of the more complete, clinical offensive, I guess, first 3 quarters we've seen from them. Absolutely any breakdown from the Phoenix, they have been punished by a Sydney team that is locked in.
They won their last 3 on the road now, the Kings, and we've been talking a lot about the Wildcats and what they've been doing on the road. It's such a hard thing to do in this competition, is to win multiple games on the road. That's a really important one for the Kings.
It's so important to get those wins on the road, and especially when we look at the standings and the ladder, you realise every single game matters, and that's why when you're playing on the road, you really need to steal a couple of those throughout the season.
3 fouls on Matt Hurt. Just shoved Xavier Cooks into the screen.
Started to find a way to get involved in the game, Matt Hurt. He's 7 points now. Going with 8 rebounds. Here's Adams. Crosses over on Glover. He's starting to look a little stiff as well. Keep an eye on Jalen Adams back here.
Just wondering if he tweaked his back a little bit there.
Final minute of the quarter. Glover for Kenyon. Blocked by Cooks. Sobey gave it up for Wieskamp. It goes!
Great extra pass from Sobey too. Probably had every right to shoot that one.
But he saw his sniper to his right, and I love that he gave it up.
He's had some issues with his back this season, Jalen Adams. He was hesitant, and that barely draws iron.
Yeah, he's grabbing at it too. Well, this is a big story in this game. Not just his game as well. They play Adelaide on Friday. He's looking to the bench.
He's moving like we do, Pete. 10 seconds left in the quarter. Sobey on the drive. Left his left-handed layup short. Adams assesses the situation. Has to pull up. It's set for a big finish. The Phoenix have hit back hard in the 3rd quarter and are within 11 points. But all eyes on the Kings superstar, Jalen Adams, right now. 79-68. It's 3-quarter time here in the Heartland on a big Wednesday night in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
quarter to play here in the Heartland. Southeast Melbourne Phoenix 68 to the Sydney Kings 79. Southeast Melbourne Phoenix found a way to claw it back to an 11-point deficit in the third, but Jalen Adams is the big story. He's come off with a bit of a sore back. I've kept an eye on him throughout the break. He copped a lot of attention from the physios. He's not out there to start this game, so it'll be interesting to see if he returns in the fourth.
That's the interesting part there, Pete and Beck, is the fact that he's not out there to start the fourth quarter.
Well, it's interesting not just for the rest of this game, but for the rest of the season as well. We know he missed some time with the lower back earlier in the year, in the season. Just way too important to this Sydney success.
Still down double digits. Well, the high arcing hook shot off the glass, and Hunter goes down. No foul called. Cooks flies to the other end with athleticism.
Well, the crowd's unhappy because the whole rim was moving on that Glover.
It's layup for layup at the moment. Fast break points everywhere. Let's see if the tempo changes.
Quick turnaround for both teams. Southeast Melbourne back here on Saturday, hosting the Jack Jumpers, and Sydney play host to the Adelaide 36ers on Friday night at Kudos Bank Arena. Great pass cross court. Kawatnoy does the rest. 24 points, 6 made threes.
I mean, great shot, but great find by Xavier Cooks. And I think when you've got a big man who can pass the ball like that, that is massive. But one other thing I want to mention about him is the fact that he has not fouled again since the first half. Massive dunk. We've got a game. But Xavier Cooks is being really disciplined defensively, and he's protecting his fouls. He knows he has to play smart, so kudos to him.
It's gone up a notch now, Pete.
Sure has.
Big time.
Every time Southeast Melbourne Phoenix get close to single digits, Kawatnoy comes up big with a 3-ball.
Hunter has his hands full with Oliver, had a big first half, went quiet in the third quarter. He's happy to tell everyone inside the State Basketball Centre about it. Blistering first 2 minutes of this fourth quarter. Hunter picks up his dribble. Shot clock at 6 for Glover. Here's Cam Oliver with rebound number 7 of the night. To go with his 16 points. Leading scorer of the game is Kawatnoy with 24. Nathan Sobey has 23 for the Phoenix. Time's evaporating for the Kings. It has to be Bull Quam. Sobey comes away with it. Pull-up 3 in transition. It's not there.
I don't love it. I don't love it just because you can get that shot at any point in the offense, and I don't think it's necessary right now. They don't need to win this game in the next 2 minutes. But hold on.
Come on, Matty.
There are signs tonight of Nathan Sobey's game that we haven't seen for a while.
And that, Beck's just nailed it on the head. That shot is there whenever he wants it. Now's not the time. I know you're trying to have a momentum swing, but get the ball through hands. This is the foul on Matt Kenyon.
The timeout coming here, 86-72. The Kings lead at the State Basketball Centre. Can't look away for a second here. There's little niggles starting to develop, and
You can see that there's an energy that's going on, definitely between both teams.
and some frustrations early. Brian Gorgian, but since an early bake in the game, the Kings have been superb.
Well, they have, and again, I think that them being slow out the gates defensively allowed this like false bravado, this false sense that the Phoenix could just score at will, putting their head down, and the isolation heavy ball is just not the way to go.
Sydney by 14 points at the State Basketball Centre. There is the live ladder as it stands right now. This would be big for Sydney. If you can't finish second, the next best thing is to finish third with the way that this playoff race is going right now.
Yeah, and you can just see that it's anyone's game. It is so tight in the teams that are vying for that second position, that third spot, like you said. But this win will be huge for them.
The other side of it is the Phoenix. If you can't win this game, it's limiting the damage because the percentage between those top four is crucial.
Rebound over the back by Wieskamp. 11 points, 7 rebounds for the night. Continuing his solid form in the second half of the season, the Iowa native. Tui sends Glover back to where it all started, with Foxwell late in the clock. Huge!
I like this five with the Phoenix. Foxwell, Glover, they can push the pace.
Glover's hurting right now.
Yeah, Glover's hurting. Something happened with Angus Glover.
He can't.
Short jump shot from Brooke Wall. Gone out of the game since quarter time. Glover. This is 5 minutes and 50 seconds left. Sobey at the scorer's table, ready to check back in. As Josh King starts to push all the chips in. Oliver gave it up for Bruce. He knocks it down. Big moment from the Kings captain.
Yeah, this is really just putting the dagger in the heart when the Southeast Melbourne feel like they're crawling back, then you get another three. It makes it very difficult if they're not getting stops.
No, Sydney been the much better team tonight. Matt Hurd takes a wild one. For both teams, they are playing for percentage. For Sydney, it's continuing to try and build on a nice, strong percentage. In Southeast Melbourne, it's limiting the damage. So every possession matters in this game. Even if the result might be close to taking care of. What a block.
Wieskamp swats it away. Here's for Danovic, an unlikely three-point.
He said, why not me?
This is the hump, though, for the Phoenix. They can't get any closer than this.
They've been here 3 or 4 times, and every single time it's been a 3-ball from the Kings. Normally, Kuat Noi.
That's who they turn to again. Almost travelled. And a turnover. Here's the Amy replay.
Wieskamp block on one end. Bogdanovic stepping into it. They're pushing the tempo. And here's their chance to get it to within single digits.
Sobey, Foxwell, Bogdanovic, Hurt and Wieskamp out there for the Phoenix. Oliver, Liafa, Adams back out there importantly for Sydney with Cooks. And Kuat Noi. Cooks denies Hurt. Big play from the Kings.
We spoke about it, Beck. Not just rolling it into him, just getting a little side-to-side action, get him involved in the offense, and then find him maybe on the other side of the block. Now they're making it too obvious.
Because you're forcing the cause. We know, and Sydney know, that they want to get the ball into Hurt. But there's ways of doing it.
We've been talking a lot about Matt Hurt. He struggles to get in the game. We shouldn't take anything away from Xavier Cook's effort at the defensive end to make life difficult for Matt Hurt.
He's been terrific, and I think his defensive side of it this season's been a bit understated. He's one of the best defenders in the competition. The way he reads the game off the ball, he's been guarding the 5 at times. He can switch onto the guard. If you try to shoot over him, he's going to block it.
It's that versatility that he brings to the game and brings to the group for sure, but it's his length defensively. It's hard to shoot over him, and then strength, he's going to fight you in that post.
MVP from a couple of seasons ago. It's fine. Sobey for Danovic. Cuts it back to 10.
An eternity left in this game as well.
As we spoke about, their challenge is getting it inside single figures. It hasn't been that way since the second quarter. Noy catch and shoot. A rare miss for him, and then ricochets off the hands of Oliver. Now he and Vodanovic want to have a chat about things. Tom Vodanovic, not the type that's ever going to back down.
No, this is rare. He's not the type to get involved. He loves a bit of back and forth, and Cam, oh, I tell you what.
Wow. Listen to this reaction.
Right? Cam Oliver. So to Cam Oliver's credit there, when Vodanovic was talking, Cam Oliver just smiled. And when he was taken out of the game, he gave the bench a spray.
Yep. And the home fans reacted to that straight away. Slick hands from Liafa. Seconds remains in the shot clock here for the Phoenix. They almost gave it up, and then a block on Liafa. Things starting to get very tense over at the Sydney bench. Foxwell running the point. Has the switch. Cook stays in front, forces a really difficult shot. But Foxwell was just that little bit better.
Wow. What a shot. 15 points. Oh, we've got it. It's on.
It's on, and they need to get a stop right now. Keep that momentum.
They led by 23 in the third quarter. The lead has evaporated to just 7 with 2:45 remaining.
Very achievable.
What do you do with Cam Oliver, Pete? Is he sitting for the rest of the game, or are you getting me back out there?
Oh, wow.
Wow! Huge. Jalen Adams.
He's as clutch as they come. I said, this man in the fourth quarter just knows how to make big shots. But I wouldn't have taken him out in the first place. Have a look at this. Just the English on that. He's a superstar. But again, to Cam Oliver's credit, when that little back and forth with Vodanovic was going down, he didn't react at all. He just smiled and laughed.
A good body language from Cam Oliver. Phoenix trailing by 9. Let's jump into their huddle with Josh King.
We're going to go middle pick and roll with Maddie for whoever Jalen has. We're going to go shirt 5, so Tommy, go get him, get out. Matt, whoever's got Jalen on him. Matt's going to slip, so if it's to the two side, we got to dive. Matt's going to slip out. Pop, so we got to dive. We understand. Whoever Jalen, we go at. We're red on Jalen Adams down here. We're red on Jalen Adams. Shirt 5 with Matt. Slip out, dive through, play. Oh, let's go. Run it to him.
So is he potentially making a very late run here at the Coach of the Year? There is Josh King since he took over from Mike Kelly, who was moved on at 0-5. Sam McKinnon filled the breach for 3 games and did a good job. What do we think?
I mean, he's definitely making a case for himself, that's for sure. Is it too late to come in as Coach of the Year? That's other people's opinions, I'm not sure, but I honestly just love what he's done for the organisation. The way that he's changed the game for this club has been massive.
I've got him a clear second.
Clear second.
I think Justin Tatum deservedly
That's fair.
will get it. He's been unbelievable with the Hawks, best team in the league. But there's still some key games to go. The votes aren't done till after the last game. Pierre voted as well. And they're going to try and go at Jalen Adams here.
Yeah.
See if they can execute what Josh King drew up.
He's been carrying around a stiff back for this last quarter, Jalen Adams. So it'll be a good time for Matt Hurt to get going.
Well, credit Sydney for not switching. So that's what they were trying to get, where Matt Hurt sets the screen, and they were hoping there would be a switch and Jalen Adams would be guarding Matt Hurt. They didn't do it. Cooks did enough to worry him out of it.
Blocking foul on Hurt. That'll be his 4th foul. Free throws the rest of the way for the Phoenix. Allow another foul. The Kings, I should say. Tui made it work.
That was almost too easy, wasn't it?
This is the problem for South East Melbourne when you've given a team like Sydney, who have so many weapons, a head start at it. Every time they've made a run, Sydney have just managed to steady themselves.
Can be steady and can be smart. They can steer the ship home from here, the Kings. Sobey wants to have a say on things.
Great take. He's going back to turn the corner and just getting at the rim.
25 points for the night. And it's at this end of the floor now. But the Phoenix need to come up with an answer. As Jalen Adams absorbs the shot clock down all the way to 5. Still a long way from the basket. He's always up for it. Pure class from Jalen Adams.
Very few I'm taking over this man in the 4th quarter. He is just so composed.
And then Kawatnoy got to the other end. Wieskamp got a whole lot of ball and challenges him at the rim.
Both of them smiling after.
What a chase down block from Wieskamp, not giving up on it. And that's Kawatnoy, right? He acknowledged what an effort that was.
11 and 8, Joe Wieskamp with 2 blocks. He's a +5 on a night where his team has been behind all night long.
Viewing to see who it went out of, which is interesting considering the block was on Wieskamp got the block. I still think it should be South East Melbourne ball. Kawatnoy trying to finish it after. Wieskamp coming across with his left hand, swiping at it. Be hard for the ball to then come this way.
Possession with South East Melbourne. And a quick score. That'll help their cause. That'll really help their cause. And one opportunity for Matt Hurt.
Great late pass. Great shot. My just question, is it too late for them?
Left it long and then got his own rebound.
Why not?
Bonus possession for the Phoenix.
Give him a double-double as well. Went from 9 and 9 to 11 and 10 on his own miss.
And as we've learned, a minute is a long time here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Sydney's turn offensively. Adams again got to a nice spot, and again with ice in his veins. Not to be denied, Nathan Sobey.
Points good. White 22.
They're throwing everything at him. But they need to get the ball out of Jalen Adams' hands because under a couple of minutes remaining, he just takes his time, gets to his spot, and when he gets below the free throw line extended, he just doesn't miss in 4th quarters.
On the verge of another 30-piece. Off the back of 28 on Saturday. Sobey's got another 28 tonight. And Matt Hurt checks out for this defensive possession. He's trying to get the ball over halfway. Foxwell making life difficult. Just beats the count.
Oh, foul that.
Liafa on the move to Bull Qual, and that might be it.
So just let too much time go, didn't they?
Well, when that ball gets to Xavier Cooks, you've got a foul. Xavier Cooks has had his problems at the free throw line. I know it's late in the shot clock and he kind of at the point of we just shouldn't, we've been in it long enough, but make Cooks go and earn two at the line.
Cool, calm and collected when it's mattered most, the Kings. It's been their night.
And that's where you really see a lot of experience with them too. But yes, it has been their night. They have been hitting a lot of their shots. They're playing their best brand of basketball tonight for sure. But it is that sense of how they don't get rattled. And they're really big fourth quarter teams.
Sydney now with another fourth quarter win. This will be their 20th Q4 win of the season, Beck, to back up your point.
Yeah, I mean, that's something they really have written for this entire season is they put a lot of trust in their fourth quarter and saying, hey, we're going to come together, we can hit big shots and big moments.
And a lot of that is the fact that Jalen Adams is on this team. Sound like a broken record, but in the fourth quarter, that man, he's just a different breed. This is what's coming up. This is the appetizer. Well, the main course is going to be all right.
Fair appetizer, this one. It's a bit better than just a little bit of Sanchoy Bao or something, Pete. This is a brilliant appetizer.
Sanchoy Bao.
It's the sort of places that Beck eats at normally, those fancy places.
Oh, come on now.
You and I just get pizzas from the local pizza shop.
Nothing wrong with that.
Beck's a Nobu sort of
Hey,
operator.
don't stereotype me.
I don't have to, it's on your Instagram.
I'm dead.
21 seconds left. Time is now an enemy for the home team. A win here for Sydney would solidify third spot on the table. Take them to 16 wins for the season. Meanwhile, for the Phoenix, they would stay inside the top six, so no issues there. And around that cluster, that is not good.
No.
As we spoke about, they gave Sydney a lead, and all the credit to the Sydney Kings because they were executing, punishing. Kuwait Noi had his moments. Jalen Adams was big. Bull Qualls had his best offensive game for the season. Cam Oliver, huge. They've just really been clinical is the word.
You could argue that this is Sydney's best win of the season, or certainly one of them. To come to the heartland and dominate the Phoenix from the opening tip. Adams to rub further salt into the wounds. Phoenix host Tasmania Saturday here at the State Basketball Centre. The Kings will host Adelaide on Friday night. What a marquee matchup that is now at Kudos Bank Arena.
Still going to be a watch, I think, too, on Jalen Adams' back. How he pulls up. Just the fourth quarter. 20 points, 9 assists, 4 steals.
Hurdle try and get a quick three away. It's been a tough night at the office for him. Kings have made his life very, very difficult. Sydney are finding form at the right time.
And to be perfectly honest, it may not matter, but little fouls like that when you're trying to protect your percentage, how close that top part of the ladder is. It's crazy to think that 2 free throws could be the difference, but just the 2 years ago when Melbourne United missed out on the top 6 by 2 points over the course of an entire season. Just those little moments you have to be a bit more aware of down the stretch.
One shot. Oh, 2 shots.
All smiles on the Kings bench tonight.
Quite annoyed. It's coming over to say most improved. That was directed. I haven't done the awards watch for a while, but quite annoyed. Most improved. We're 2 games away from him entering the MVP conversation. I think he has been very good.
Being Prime Minister after that.
He might. He's got the confidence to get it all.
Huge win tonight for the Sydney Kings. And if that's how they're going to play for the remainder of the season, then look out the rest of the NBL. 103-92, they were nearly flawless tonight.
I mean, they really put together 4 great quarters, didn't they? There was a few little momentum shifts that happened, but really they had full control of this game.
They did whatever they want offensively, and tonight, Pete, they defended like hounds, which they haven't always this year.
They have, and again, when Phoenix missed shots, they just punished them. 22 assists. Again, I think it's been their best offensive performance of the season. They put up 103. They hung on late when South East Melbourne made multiple runs. They did it by committee. Adams, Qual, we spoke about it. Everybody's chimed in. But they should be feeling really good about this and going home to face an Adelaide team that's going to be desperate.
The Phoenix felt that they've been... Well, now we're not White Noise family telling us that he's the most improved over in commentary. It's been awesome. The Phoenix were happy to tell everyone that they've been the best team in the league in the last couple of months. Well, tonight, they ran into a Sydney team who were better.
This Sydney team, I still think they haven't scratched the surface too. They can continue to build on this down this stretch of the season.
Kings get the job done tonight. 103-92 at the State Basketball Centre. Don't go too far. Just boil the kettle, get a bicky, and get yourself sorted for Perth and Melbourne that is coming up next. We are going to wrap things up from the State Basketball Centre on the other side of this.